Jason Gapper, writing in the Financial Times on May 13th, Facebook, he says, is among the most powerful of internet companies. It has 400 million users, 35 million of whom use it at least once a day. It is the most visited website in the U.S. And, everybody's speculating about how much money they're going to make in their IPO. And then on the other hand, this from also on Thursday, May 13th, an article by Maja Palmer in London in the Financial Times. Facebook has been sharply criticized by European data protection officials for putting users' privacy at risk with changes to its service. They've changed their terms of service in December, and the Europeans are saying this is unacceptable. The new default, well, here, I'll read the article. Officials said Facebook needed default settings that ensured only selected contacts could see user profiles. Facebook's changes in December meant that users' profiles were made accessible to others by default, and certain aspects, such as lists of friends, were impossible to keep private. So let's bring in Uber Facebook geek Dan Gaynor. He's the vice president, T. Boone Pickens, vice president fellow and vice president of the Business and Media Institute, businessandmedia.org. Hey, Dan.
This is an interesting debate here for a change, and also a Facebook user. I think you are as well.
Well, I am, in a way. I deleted my personal Facebook page 3 days ago.
Well, I have not. I think this is, what's funny here is this is sort of like, two dinosaurs standing around talking about the internal combustion engine.
You and me, you mean?
Yeah, me and you. Because I've asked several people I know who are, fair to say, younger.
Yes.
about this issue, and they view privacy different than we do. They accept that privacy and simplicity are hard to accomplish in an internet-connected universe.
Yeah.
And so they want to have access to a lot of the things you get by giving up a little of your privacy. They want to have access to a network of friends who know what's going on with them. They can play games, etc.
Sure.
But every time you do that, every one of those stupid little apps that you agree to play, Foursquare or work on a farm or whatever with people,
yeah.
They allow other people to have access to you.
Right, and not just other people. I don't know. I've read conflicting reports about this, but apparently Facebook is not yet doing what Google does, for example, which is and many of the other web groups that track web usage, where they monitor the websites that you visit to get a profile of what you're interested in. So when you hit a website that has Google ads on it, and frankly, I'm not sure that Google is doing it at this level, so I don't want to pick on Google specifically, but this is being done by a number of web advertising companies. Let's put it that, so that when you hit a certain website, they will be able to throw ads at you that are they know that, hey, you went and visited the sporting site, you went and visited the soccer site, you went and you bought a soccer outfit over at Amazon or whatever, and so when you hit the whatever site, the social networking site, the ads you see are for soccer, and apparently Facebook hasn't started slicing and dicing user data to that level in order to hand it off to advertisers. And in fact, there's some big questions about the viability of their business model, because there's a concern that if they did that, that would dramatically increase the blowback. But right now, one of the most Googled search terms in the entire universe is, how do I delete my Facebook page?
Well, but at the same time, Facebook is reacting to this the way any smart company should do, which is, oh my God, we've done something that our users, our customers don't like, and they're giving us a lot of heat, and they are,
right.
And and so rather than need some sort of government regulation, Facebook has already announced today that they're going to launch simplistic privacy choices very soon. And that's going to alter the whole dynamic again, and very likely push it back to some place where many people who are less paranoid than you and I will be satisfied.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I deleted my personal Facebook page because people had just found it more easily than they found the one for our show, which is the one that we really wanted to direct people to. And I had more fans on my personal page, which was not a public page, than we do on our public page for the Thom Hartmann program, which is what we did want to direct people to. So we are Facebook users, and so I guess we're promoting Facebook. But let's generalize this a little more, Dan Gaynor. I mean, you're a conservative Republican, I'm a progressive Democrat, and we both have concerns about the future of privacy and even what privacy means in this era. I mean, I would submit to you, Dan Gaynor, that for the better part of 200 years, most Americans had a pretty clear and consensus understanding of what privacy means. And in the last decade, that's been largely blown up. Is privacy being eaten alive by big business?
Well, I wouldn't say I think privacy is being eaten alive by technology. And in that way, I mean, remember Social Security number. That forget debating whether we like Social Security or not. The Social Security number was supposed to be a private number, only used for that.
Right, and in fact, when you and I were wee tiny ones, and probably I'm older than you, but I remember a time when it was illegal for a company to ask for your Social Security number.
Right, now they do it. Now they do it as a matter of course.
That's right.
And in fact, Social Security number, it's a big issue in the immigration debate, et cetera.
Right.
But it's not just that. Once we started sending our information across electronic networks, their ability to do what we need to do, which is back up their network so that they have it, means that people have access to this information.
Well, not just that. How did what's the story? Google apparently in the process of putting together their Google Earth maps. They're all over the world with these little trucks taking pictures for Google Earth, and apparently those trucks weren't just taking pictures. They were sucking data out of publicly available Wi-Fi hotspots and pulling down passwords and usernames and credit card numbers, and I mean just massive chunks of data. Now Google says they're not using this data and they're going to destroy this data, but just the fact, I mean, if they can do it, then Joe, the hacker around the corner, can do it.
Anybody who uses open Wi-Fi will tell you that if you put any information at all, passwords, and if you're using open Wi-Fi, you're probably using passwords. They're being captured by somebody.
Right. If you're accessing your email, they certainly
are.
are.
Exactly. So I mean, it comes down to no matter what regulation anybody came up with, everything's moving so fast. You have to be a smart and savvy internet user, which means periodically, for everything you do in life, you should change passwords. You should have virus protection. You should should not type something on Twitter that you don't want somebody to retweet because you're afraid it will cost you your job.
And if you're staying at a hotel or if you're using public Wi-Fi access points, there are places that sell you the ability to VPN into them so that all of your data is basically anonymized. It's not even anonymized. It's gibberish to anybody who's monitoring it as it's passing through.
Yeah, there was a I can't remember which was it, Wired or one of the magazines did a sort of a contest where they had somebody who tried to go underground and sort of leave hints and see how people would find him, and the amount of internet effort that's devoted to this was insane. But they tracked him down, and they tracked him down using IP addresses and all sorts of stuff. There was an item that came out in the news, I think literally yesterday, the day before, that says almost everyone's, and this is interesting, your browser configuration.
Yeah, I saw that. Just based on the over 74%, as I recall, it was identifiable. Dan, we just have a little less than a minute left. Does this concern you? It concerns me.
It concerns me. I think we're going to have some incidents where this is much abused for...
I think we already have them. Look at all the identity theft that's going on.
No, but I mean, in bad ways for younger people to be as worried about as maybe you and I are by nature.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's because we've been in the job market for years and years. We've seen what that kind of thing can do.
And we've seen people lose their jobs or not get jobs. I mean, I know of people who have not gotten jobs because of Facebook and Twitter and stuff.
Right.
So, meantime, everybody has to be smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and young people wake up. This is not a game. These are big companies that are interested in making serious money.
And government as well. Let's not leave them out.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
In a rare moment of combined geek.
These are solidarity.
There you go, Dan Gaynor.